Welcome back to Urban X TV. Got the black guy here in the building.
Yes, yes.
And
fully illuminated here.
Yes. Thank you for coming back to our page. We want to remind everybody to subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe, hit the bell.
Hit the bell.
Continue support.
Facts. We appreciate it.
We do.
So, what's up?
Well, I'm doing a special video today in honor of my brother Shayna and Rich, whose arrival has made it to the planet safely. And me and brother Rich were supposed to do a sit-down called Fatherhood, in which he can ask questions as a new father to some of us elder fathers about, what to expect and things of that nature. And things got a little crazy and this and that, and we didn't get a chance to do it. So this video is Black Dot's way of paying homage to brother Rich and Shayna, congratulating them, telling them we're proud of them, and two other people couldn't be more worthy of such an arrival that has hit the planet. Also, my brother Rich Renee and Abiba are expecting around the same time. And for those who don't know Rich Renee, he's the one who did the 5 bloodlines of hip hop with me. He was a part of Moo Productions, and he's been a part of the conscious community since VHS tapes. He came out in the same class. I call him the young elder because of his wisdom. Me and him went to London and did a classic lecture series. And it's ironic, Rich and Rich both were contacted me within the same 2 or 3 day span, telling me that they were expecting. And, so I know Rich, Renee, and Abiba are expecting any day. Brother Rich Merritt from Blackmagik363 and his beautiful queen Shayna have received their cosmic bundle. So I just wanted to spend some time and do a piece on fatherhood, and break down some things that I think he should expect, and also implement it for other up-and-coming fathers who may need that specific advice.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So once again, congrats. I don't want to put all the details out there. I might already be putting too much out there. I hope not. And brother Rich, I hope you can put this on your page as well, and we can help some other young fathers out. I'm not an expert, but I am an expert on fatherhood at the same time. So I wanted to get this started by saying that, brothers, if you can witness the birth of your child, by all means, you need to do it.
Really?
You need to do it because it's a very humbling process.
Okay.
Right? And first of all, fellas, babies come out of women, so humble yourself when you think you packing and shit like that, right? But it's birth itself is violent. The whole process is a violent process because you're bringing something spiritual into a physical essence now, and it's literally blood everywhere. It's your breathing is going crazy. You're looking at your queen, you're looking at her box. Brothers is like, damn, is the box gonna be okay? We're gonna have an honest conversation here. But if you can witness it, you will never call another black woman a bitch, a hoe, a slut in your life. You know what I'm saying? After witnessing that, because listen, I'm gonna be honest, brothers, if I get a toothache, shit, you can shut this bitch down. You know what I'm saying? Brothers ain't got no tolerance for pain. We have tolerance for emotional pain and all of that, but let my tooth go out, my wife be like, damn, like, I'm like, yo, I need help. So to witness this on a number of occasions, it becomes easy as you go along because you know what to expect. But if you can be there because your respect for women will go up tenfold. You know what I mean? It really is an amazing process. You know what I mean? And to know that you were there from the beginning all the way to the end. And in African cultures, you don't go to no hospital. You know what I'm saying? You put that bitch up there, you go up there and you get it. You know what I'm saying? All the men were trained to go get the baby but we live in a concrete jungle. We live in a different environment, and due to those circumstances, you know, and you still have to be careful at some of these hospitals. They want to make you have a C-section when you really don't have to, and they're imposing fear. But if you can be there, black man, be there, man. You know, holding your woman's hand, telling her it's gonna be all right, and she damn near super strength can break your fingers, and you know, looking into her eyes, and the joy of it all is well worth it. And from that, you know, you should be in a position to be humbled. You know what I mean? So I recommend that. The first 2 years, and this is mainly not for Shayna and Rich, because they've been together long enough to endure. But the first 2 years, I tell this to all young couples, is the hardest after the baby. Because you, black man, are no longer the baby. See, prior to that, you were the baby. You were the one who could lay on your girl's chest, and you know, when you have a stressful moment, you know what I'm saying, stressed. Now the baby is here. You know what I mean? And he or she gets that attention you used to get. And if you're not strong enough mentally as a man to understand that there is a period and process that moms and baby have to bond, you run out into the streets. And now you hitting thoughts on the side, and you know what I'm saying, and you not home, and this and that, and she know what's going on because she ain't putting out, she can't put out, you know what I mean? She can't even put out emotionally, you know what I mean? Because this whole process is life changing, and you hear about a lot of women who become depressed, you know what I'm saying, during these times because of what they just, you know, physically, mentally, and spiritually went through. So I'm always telling young couples, if you can make the first 2 years after the baby, things get back in balance, so to speak. Mommy got time for you now, and you know what I mean? But, you know, all the attention goes, you know, to the baby. And, you know, Eli was breastfed, and I think this little nigga knew, you know what I mean? Because he'd be on the titty looking at me like, you ain't getting these back. And I be like, yo, I think he know what he doing, man. You know what I mean? You know, just the psychological war you go through and stuff. So, but they are a couple who have been stable, who have been together a long time. So I don't think that'll be an issue for Rich and Shayna. Side note, Rich, I can hear you asking questions in my head right now. You ask a question, then you answer the question, you ask another doper question than the first question, and then you interjecting some real deep shit. The way I answer Rich's questions, I answer the last question. That's just how I get down. I can hear you in my head now asking questions. I'm going to do my best to answer. So shout out, you know, to Brother Rich, who has his own unique way of getting the most out of the people that he's interviewing. So the first 2 years for young people is critical. Something else that I find to be very, very critical is time. You have to get up, young man, and feed that baby. Mommy, you'd be surprised what these 2 hour at 2 a.m. feedings do for mommy, because mommy's usually up. Even if she's breastfeeding and she got the baby here, she can make breast milk. My wife was a damn machine. She was just pumping out breast milk. So there's breast milk available for those times. Those 2 and 3 hour gaps when mommy can sleep are critical. You know what I mean? Because they're up all day, all night, you know, talking with the baby, going through the, you know, the issues with the baby. And so, black man, don't be afraid to be like, no, I got this. I got this. You sleep. I'm going to get up because me and little man got some talking to do anyway. We got to have our bonding moments anyway. You've been hearing my voice when you went, you know, inside. And I ain't like what you said at the 4-month mark to my mom's, but I wasn't ready to come out and deal with that. But I'm here now. And what you said, I know y'all was having a little argument when she told you to go get the ice cream and you said no. I got an issue with you with that. You know what I mean? So y'all need y'all bonding time anyway. So get up and put that time in, because those, you know, 4-hour sleep sessions, because the baby's waking up every 2 and 3 hours and he gonna be dropping shit. Literally and figuratively. He gonna be dropping some shit, right? And the shit ain't got no smell to it for about 2 weeks. It's, oh, that shit is cute. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what happens. the smell come in that bitch, and you got to be built for it. So get up, change the Pampers, give mommy the time she needs. Mommy is also going to be going through a period where she may not look her best. You know what I'm saying? Because she's home with the baby all day, and she's trying to mend herself on so many levels. So give her a break. Don't stress all of that. You know she was bad when you met her, and she bad now. You know what I mean? But give her time. And then there's going to be periods when you get used to holding the baby for long periods of time. You got to give mommy some money and tell her to go get her hair done. Just go out to dinner with your friends. These are all things that keep those early years in balance, and they are so important, so that you don't get looked at as the bad guy. And because Rich, you have your own business, so you can make your own hours. But for those who don't, if dad is out working and mommy's home with the baby all day and she had no adult conversation besides the people who come over initially to see the new bundle of joy, when all the smoke clears, they go home.
Right.
And it's you and the baby, and you be yearning. Your wife is gonna be yearning for adult conversation. You know what I mean? And then you come in and you tired from work, and you just want to listen. Just want to lay down. You gotta suck it up, because you might be the only adult conversation she gets all day, and she's looking forward to it. So keep the same energy. She wants you to match that energy when she come in. You come in, you wash your hands, you get prepared, and you immediately take the baby. No, give me the baby. Because I know y'all been, talking and this and that, and you just need some rest. That's what keeps that in balance. And for young people who maybe come from a broken home, and the guy just don't know how to go about it, and his patience for crying leads to him to shake the baby in frustration. And that's why we have a lot of these early deaths, because it's a process. And you have this bundle of joy, and the bundle of joy don't know this is earth. It just come from the spirit realm, and now I'm here, having to deal with things that I can see that you can't see. You know what I'm saying? The auric fields and all this old kind of stuff before I am fully inserted into the matrix and things of that nature. And the baby, has a frustrating period with trying to communicate. It needs to be burped. I remember your mom's was, crying, and she was patting you so light, but my aunt happened to be there. She said, "Give me that damn baby." And she put you on her shoulder and gave 2-3 nice firm taps and burped. "Oh, I didn't know you." Your mom's, why is he still crying? Because you ain't, the mothers, the ones who know, give me that baby. Let me show you how to do that. Boom. 2-3 firm, not pounding, but nice firm, taps and because there's a lot of cauliflower, colic, and, just babies are going through a process. So there has to be a patient period for that. So, Rich, get your Pornhub account up if you have to.
How did you do?
Facts.
How did you deal with like during the pregnancy, like hormones and things like that?
Again, wifey is going through so many different stages. At 3 a.m, she wants ice cream and pickles. What? And you have to be able to, oblige on those situations, because her body she's holding life. You know what I'm saying? We are the givers of life, and she is the holder and receiver of that life. So she's the one who's the architect of its physical essence. We give it its spiritual essence, its spark. And, as you get older, you just can tolerate it. When I was young, I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? When you get older, you understand, you prepare yourself for this process, to have your shoes by the door and be ready to fulfill some weird goddamn request. You know what I mean? And then, she's getting big, and then her nose is getting big, and she don't feel as sexy as she used to. So me and your moms went out to a concert. I forget who we went to see, and she dressed up, and she was glowing, and all of the people were raving at the auric field. She was glowing, carrying light, because she was out there, and and that boosted the confidence to let her know you're still beautiful, but it's a process that here that we're going through. Any other questions with
that? Because I hear a lot about like relationships ending like during the pregnancy stage, because a lot of guys can't deal with some of
and those are generally weak men. You know, so ladies, there should always be a vetting process. And like I said, Rich and Shayna, they done been through it all, so they're prepared to deal with that. But younger couples who've never been through this, they've never played house before. A lot of them have. The first time, I don't know how to respond to a woman on that level, and the woman don't know how to respond to me on that level, and we're trying to figure it out. And her emotions can go up and down. She loves you, she hates you. She loves you, she hates you. You a piece of shit. You're the greatest. All of these things are normal conversation, but a lot of these young people out here just having sex. You know what I mean? And then she's having a baby, and then they don't know what this process is. This is the most magical process for both of you, because that's the understanding, the cream, you know what I mean? That's the combination of you both, and is a reflection of you guys' love, you know what I mean? So that's why I tell young people, slow down with trying to do this because you think you got this. You do not, you know what I mean? And many of these young relationships end just like that.
Yeah, a lot of people I went to school with, like, as soon as we graduated, they had babies. I was like, why? And then rarely do I see them still together.
Rarely, right? So understand that, the baby is the best part. The baby should be a reflection of the trials and tribulations of what you guys have learned about each other, and you are now in a lifelong commitment, because it ain't even 18 years, it's a lifelong. You're 25 years old, and me and your moms are still in conjunction because, of things that we have to do. You might become a dad at one point, and now the relationship renews because we're grandparents, even though we're not physically, together. So, and black men, there's a misnotion going around that we don't take care of our children. And we do take care of our children. I want to put that out there because, when people say, Doc, you're a great dad, I cringe. And I know what they mean, but I cringe because I'm supposed to be a great dad. I shouldn't get a pat on the back or be rewarded for doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But I understand the background from which we come from. And when you see a dad doing his job to the fullest of his ability, it does stand out. But all of my people, my A1 from day ones, are great dads. I vouch for them all. You've seen our Father's Day events that we used to give every year. And we're not playing dad, we're dads. And if you are not, you're going to get a call from us. I don't care what the baby mama situation is. That's irrelevant. Young men never surrender. Never surrender. I don't care what the situation is, and she's taking you through this and that. Never surrender your right as the dad. Don't let the next man step in half-ass coming from wherever and take your spot. And never let her use the child as a manipulating tool against you because the relationship didn't work out. I'm never ever gonna surrender my role, and I've never surrendered my role as dad. And there are exceptions to the rules. Some of these women can be extremely difficult, but that just means now I got to go to the school and see you. You know what I'm saying? Pick you up in school and I have to find a way to work it so that, and I'm getting ahead of myself, but this is important too. If the relationship doesn't work, never transfer negative energy to the child. So never fill your child with negative energy about the baby's moms. Ever. Because they retain more information than you think they do. When they get old enough, they'll have their own assessment of why dad wasn't, in my life every day. You know what I mean? But you should constantly be at all events and with social media now, get your son or daughter a phone, FaceTime.
I've been seeing a lot of when you talk about social media, Facebook or Instagram dads.
Yeah, the ones who just want to hold their kid for a photo and then
give the baby right back.
Give the baby right back. That's the era we live in. But you can't fake the funk. You know what I mean? Because the child eventually is going to know. And another thing I like to mention to young parents, time is more important than money. The kid has no understanding of money. The mother needs money if y'all break up and you have to support. But going to your kid's baseball game means more than buying them sneakers and trying to shut them up because you weren't there. You can't replace that time with money. It doesn't work that way. That's why you see all these white kids screwed up right now because their pops are Wall Street tycoons, never spent no time with them, but gave them everything they wanted. Now these kids are off kilter and crazy. right? Nothing beats time, right? Nothing beats the ability to spend time, right? Now, with that being said, I wanted to talk about the language barrier, right, Rich? Now, check this out. There's going to be a period where moms and child understand each other, and you ain't going to know what the hell they talking about. What? Rich, he wants water. That's what you got from that conversation? Trust me, it's going to be there, but that's the time that they get, and they're in sync as he's trying to formulate his words, right? Mommy gets it right away. Dads, we be like, I don't know what that was. Now, the cool thing about it is when the young prince becomes like 2 years old and can start formulating words, your relationship with him becomes even better. Because now you can tell me what you want. This is easy. Dad, I'm thirsty. Dad, I'm hungry. Dad, my pamper. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. Now you on sort of like autopilot. You know what I mean? And it becomes easier, but it's frustrating when the baby is trying to speak, as Kambata said, all these ancient languages coming in the form of gibberish. Like these babies come and, you know what I'm saying, we the ones who acclimating them to English, and your child has the ability to learn multiple languages because they are multi-dimensional, right? But there's a frustrating period for you if you're out working and this and that, and mommy's home and she understands the language of gibberish better than you do.
Right.
Until you get on it, and then you can understand and you'll show me, follow, you know, and then they can kind of, you know what I'm saying, get in there. So that language is important.
So what would your advice be for, like you said, Rich has his own business, he has his own creative outlet. So for aspiring anything, right? They have a child, now the plan changes a bit, right? What would your advice be? Because you said, you know, you have to sacrifice for your woman because she's going through a lot. You have to sacrifice for the child, obviously, right? But where did you find time for you?
Well, because he owns his own business, he can push his hours anywhere he wants to. He can work in the middle of the night. You know what I'm saying? Editing up videos. He can pencil his interviews when he has to. It's a little bit more difficult when you're structured. You're on a 9 to 5. And you have to come home and you're tired. And you have to get up at 5 in the morning. And wifey wants her time. But you're also saying, I was out so-called breadwinning, you know, that process too. And that's always challenging. But it can be done, and it should be done. Everybody's going to have to give up something. So the time that you may have to watch the game, that time is gone. Or look, put, you know, Shorty on your lap and give him the breakdown of what LeBron is doing. Yo, it's fourth quarter. You know, you have to make the situation work for you. You know what I mean? And it's not going to be pretty. She's going to need a certain amount of time to heal. You know what I mean? Right. Not just physically, spiritually, mentally. She needs time to heal, get back to her strut. The baby's just going to need time in general, especially at that age. You know, it's like every 2 and 3 hours and this and that. And if you're using baby formula, I don't know if they are, because some parents do. You got to put an extra cut in that. You know what I mean? You heard. Poof, that extra cut to have, you know, him out like, you know what I mean? So each parent, you know, is different in how they go about the situation and stuff like that. But in your joint, I started cutting. She was like, just put 2 scoops in there, You know, Eli and Odyssey were breastfed, so that was a little different. But I was like, fuck this shit. His ass is going to be out. You know what I mean? And you try not to be a great young man. So also, when the child gets a little older, like, you know, about 2 years old, he's going to start scheming. And what I mean by that is he notices where mommy keeps the cookies. All right, just give you a scenario. Every time mommy, she reaches on top of the refrigerator, she comes down with a treat, I get a cookie, I feel great. I know where the cookies are. I cannot get to those cookies because it's a process, right? And then one day, the universe is going to open up and mommy going to be folding clothes and you're going to be watching the game and his little ass is going to go get a chair, pull a chair up to the fridge, open the top part of the fridge, lean, and get the goddamn cookies. And you, Rich and Shayna, will be amazed on how he did that. Because he will scheme 3 weeks if he have to, 3 or 4 months. Because it's joy when mommy goes to the top of the fridge, she comes down with happiness. I want happiness all the time. But I can't access happiness until the universe pops. And then the shit is on. And you guys will be amazed and think it was spontaneous. It wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I used to watch you peek around the corner, oh, what you doing? And then I hear the footsteps going, and I know something is going on by the footsteps. You already schemed on something that you're trying to get into. Keeping with the cookies, right? He also understands the cookies represent divide and conquer and power, right? So, mommy, Shayna already told him he can't have a cookie. But you don't know that, Rich, because you've been out at work. So, you come in from work, little man greets you at the door. Hey, Dad, what's good, man? You think I can get a cookie? Sure, man, you can get a cookie. You know how we do. You reach up, you give him a cookie. Shayna curses you out, right? You ain't know what? And he's sitting eating the cookie. Just pulled off his first manipulation process, his first understanding of power, right? So, men, this is the universal question. You all know it. Say it with me. When the kid asks for something, the first thing you say is, what did your mother say? Let's say that. What did your mother say? That's a universal question. And the follow-up to that is, oh, no, I didn't ask. I'm asking you first. Go ask your mother. Right? That's how we keep the balance. Mom and dad are on the same page at all times because they will freak you. You know, mommy said no, but daddy didn't say no. Now, those rules are different for grandparents because, when I become a granddad, I supersede all that shit. Malcolm talking. He said, what? Let's go get the cookie in his face. Right? Because grandparents have that kind of power. So, that will be the first time you guys get to see the manipulation on the part of his or her part. But as they get older, the rules don't change. What did your mother say? Till this day, what did your mother say? And then if me and mommy are in disagreements, we will disagree in private about it. We will have an allegiance because the damn prisoners will take over the asylum. In my household, Eli and Odyssey, they know because they know when we lay down a law, it's a 2-week law. Shit is going to last 2 weeks and then we going to forget and then they're going to be back doing the shit they was doing. They would be in there plotting on how they're going to manage that 2 weeks, and then it'll be back to normal. Just calm down. They just going through something they want to show. So it's a war in your house when you have multiple kids.
It's definitely a chess match.
It's a chess match on who going to get what, who going to do this and that. Yeah. Right now, y'all just got one and y'all can kind of control that. But as you get older, you just want to also show and have a unified front. I also want to say this. Put the war on hold. The war on terror, the war on blackness, the war on black consciousness, the war on the black community. What I mean by that is this. It has been it's an ongoing war. Right. If you take time out, because I see some of these super conscious dudes, they're looking out the window waiting for the war. Meanwhile, they never spend no time with their kids. 0 time because the war on the black community and black man is more important. I'm going to share something with you. The war will be going on. If you, I guarantee you, if you take your son out to field ground balls because he has taken an interest in baseball, the war, whatever that is, will still be going on. So don't allow you to get so caught up in defending black people as a whole and yet you're not defending your own household. Right. You have no relationship with your children, right? And perspective is everything. Okay, so when I come in, or Rich, when you come in, and your son has his 3 trucks out, and these are his 3 favorite trucks, get down on the floor with him. And it's not the amount of time you spend with him, it's the quality time. So if you give him 12 uninterrupted minutes, and you say, well, this is my car, and then you start understanding what all the features are, it works wonders, right? So that 12, 13 uninterrupted minutes in his world. Now you say this is irrelevant, it's a fucking car. It's not irrelevant to him. It's his world. You know what I mean? So I would know all the latest toys, all the gadgets, all of that stuff, and it doesn't stop. Once my son Malcolm started playing football, it challenged me to understand what a 4-5 defense was, a nickel defense. I knew none of that. So now I had to watch ESPN with a different mindset so that I can engage my son for what was important to him. Let me shoulder the burden of the world and the war on black people and all of that. So get down on the floor and make everything important. Then go greet wifey. You know what I mean? And then come back for another 8 minutes. He'll swear you spent the whole day with him because he has no perception of time. All he know, Rich, is that dad was on the floor. Dad wasn't in his cameras, or damn, dad is always on the computer. And he's like, yeah, I see you, son. No, get involved. I get involved with all of my children, whatever they into, and fully involved. You know what I mean? I went to my oldest son, Marcus, your brother, his games, the whole 7th grade, he ain't played not one goddamn game. And I still showed up at every game in anticipation. And then one time it was a blowout. And they put him in the game, and he got the ball, and went through his legs, and he scored. It was an 8-1. And the first person he looked for was me in the crowd. And I hold that memory. I have it. It's in my heart. You understand what I'm saying? Now, when he became an 8th grader, he was a starter, this and that. So stop making everything about you. You know what I'm saying? It's not always about you. It's about what's important to them. So find out what the latest cartoons. I knew all of the cartoons. You know what I mean? Find out what they are. Allow his or her creativity to blossom. I didn't have to put pause on none of my children past the age of 4 or 5, with an exception here or there. You know what I mean? So, pow, you gotta pow that hand every now and then. And I used to spank Malcolm's hand, and he would not cry. He would not give me the satisfaction of crying. No matter how hard I hit your hand, you just be like, I'd be like, what kind of voodoo shit is this? Now, I had to put hands on my oldest son once, maybe twice, and he was bigger than me at the time, and I just had to sit him down and say, bro, he was 14, he was already bigger than me. We can't do this. So my presence should exert power in how we, move about and get a greater understanding of how things goes. And now I'm just moving Rich along. But.
So speaking on your presence, right? What do you say to men that, like when couples argue in front of children, right? And depending on how the arguments go, the children can kind of pick up on who runs what, in the house, and then they will show a lack of respect for the other. So how would you...
Don't argue in front of the children. Point blank. In your 25 years, how many times have you seen an all-out blowout in my household? You probably can count on one hand, and those are probably extreme situations. There is no reason to argue because me and wifey on the same page. Even if we not, when we get in our room and have our pillow talk about, I think you was wrong. I think, you know what I'm saying? He was right about that. And then we come out and come to an agreement because, the children sense everything. And that's how they know when their parents are being divorced. And they can sense the energy in the house that something ain't right here. You know what I mean? So I'm always about laughter. I'm always about joy. I'm always about giving everybody their voice. You know what I'm saying? Me and wifey will make the ultimate decision as Rich and Shayna and Rich and Abib. You know what I'm saying? Abiba will make the ultimate decisions. But the input is important. Not white person input. Come on, Dad, fuck that shit. I don't give a fuck about that. Not that kind of input. You know what I mean? You're going to get some problems. But I want to know. I want to know how you feel about this because we're all moving, in conjunction. So these are just some of the basic principles. And then as the child gets older, your relationship changes. Right. You know what I mean? Or what his or her interests are and about creating the environment for that interest. It may be something contrary to what you do. Right. You know what I mean? So we always want to, allow for creative expression. Of course, you're going to teach them who they are because the first teachers of the child are the parents. Right. So I don't care what school I send my child to after that, I've already imprinted and laid a foundation that, this is how we do things. And Rich and Shayna, y'all dealing with a different set of rules. De Blasio just signed the bill for the birth certificate. It could be male, female, or X.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're gonna have to answer questions fully when the prince gets a certain age. And why is that guy got 2 dads or 2 moms? You see it now, and then the prince is gonna come up in a quantum era of intelligence. So questions and things that maybe you could have a conversation at 10, you got to have it at 5, because we're in that quantum period. So these children are growing up fast. I believe Shayna and Rich will adjust and adapt, to that particular situation, because my 3 sons are basically 7 years apart, right? Mm-hmm. Your brother's 32, you're 25, Eli's 18. You know what I mean? My daughter is right behind Eli, and that's a different energy in itself because she's a female. But 7 years apart, Marcus didn't have no cell phones.
Right.
He ain't had none of that shit. That shit wasn't around. His big shit at the time was goddamn Mario Brothers with the cartridge. Dad, the cartridge ain't working. I gotta blow on the cartridge like it's magic. I don't know what the hell that was. You know what I mean? And then, your era was a little different. You had a cell phone in high school, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Right, so that was brand new, during that time, because now I can reach you when I couldn't reach him. So he had a different level of freedoms to move about, but I can contact you, and that's good. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's going on? Eli's got a goddamn iPhone 10, right? And computers and, the eras in which, things are going on. It's just different eras. So each era taught me something else about fatherhood, right? So Rich, when you on the floor doing your push-ups and you see the prince doing or mimicking what you're doing, it's a sign that, okay, because for me, when Marcus started watching everything I was doing, you know what I mean? He was just mimicking, the way I sat and watched the game, everything. It was a sign for me, okay, I need to change some things. And then one day he saw me drinking a beer. Now, I wasn't drinking beer much. It was Father's Day, so I was out, and he had never seen that before. And the strange look he gave me, like, Dad, you drink beer? It was just kind of one of those aha moments, like, oh, shit, I'm naked. He saw me naked. I'm sitting there drinking a beer, but it was like he saw me butt ass. You know what I mean? Which showed the impact of what you do and how we conduct ourselves as men around our women, right? In particular. So that's why the arguing and fighting and all of that stuff is off the table. They need to see love and unity at all times, because most of us who didn't grow up with our fathers, we don't know how to treat a woman because we weren't taught that. We think it's just, machismo, this and that. It's a lot more that goes into it. But when you have been taught by actions and what we allow, and I've never been a dad to allow, here, nigga, get all that pussy you can get, man, fuck these hoes. Ever. One time you were in the middle of a breakup, and you brought another girl over to the house, and I had to pull you to the side because Eli and Odyssey were watching, right? And I had to pull you to the side and be like, you can't do that. And I said, she's just a friend. I get it. I get she's just a friend, but who do they recognize? You know what I'm saying? They recognize your girlfriend at the time, and now you bringing this other girl in without explaining to them that your situation is changing. And I, as a dad, did not like that. You know what I mean? So all of these things are important so that our men understand how they should conduct themselves. And I'm very proud of all of the young men in my life, even my biological children and the young seeds in the community who I've had an opportunity to have an effect on. So, and me and my wife could be mad at each other, and I'd be like, yo, you a big-headed bitch. I ain't even gonna lie. When we get in that room, we gonna hash this shit out. You know what I mean? And then, but we have to show a unified front. And these young men have to be taught how to, deal with women. They shacking with each other. They moving. First of all, you got to live with somebody to really understand all the levels of that individual. There ain't no such thing as we get in, we move in, and everything is happy. There are idiosyncrasies It could be the way you fucking push the toothpaste out the tube. That become irritant. Like, why the fuck are you not going from the bottom? I like to push my shit from the top. You know what I mean? It could be so many small things that we don't take into consideration, and you have to wake up near this person at their worst, and they got to wake up at you near your worst. Good morning. I can't even say good morning in your face. Might knock you back out, right? So all of these things are what we talk about when we talk about parenthood. You know what I mean? So I want to congratulate, you know what I'm saying? Another thing, like I said, put the war on hold. You know what I mean? Love each other. Make sure there's a lot of love and energy in the house. I want to congratulate you guys. I believe you guys are doing it the right way. Rich is a stand-up guy. Shayna is beautiful every time I see her. Always open arms. My brother Rich, Renee, and Abiba, also beautiful, beautiful people. And I'm wishing you guys the best. And I'm here. So if there's anything that comes up in reference to fatherhood, you know what I'm saying? My children are almost out of the house. So that would make me an expert on it. You know what I mean? And they're all doing well. And they all have their own dreams and goals. And I'm glad to be a part of that mission. So if there's anything you guys need, that's what the community is here for. I'm not the only dad. There are plenty other dads in our community who might even have a different perspective on certain things. But know that I'm here. Know that I'm happy for you guys. Know that I'm proud of you. And, the prince has arrived. And may you guys enjoy everything that it presents. All right? Peace.
Peace.
Peace. This is the Black Dot, author of the underground classic Hip Hop Decoded and Urban Culture Decoded. For 15 years, I've been decoding hip hop, breaking it down, giving you it piece by piece, the DNA of hip hop, all of its multifaceted components. For the next 15 years, I want you to join me as I give you hip hop recoded. And we put it back together, giving you its RNA so that we don't leave the next generation lost. But I have to give you a disclaimer. I am not a hip hop guru. This is not hip hop law. This is for pure entertainment purposes only. I am not a doctor. So before you take the red pill and go with us into the matrix of hip hop, consult your doctor to see if hip hop recoded is for you. With that being said, we thank you for your patronage, and we see you on the other side. Peace.